So we'll just sit and wait for a little bit and see what questions come up.
May I?
Please, yes, sure. Hello, hi.
Hello, professors. Good to meet you. I'm Yongqing Zhang, and you slightly mentioned that this year onward, Mantron will no longer have mainly focus on the research stream. So I chose the practical stream instead. So can I still be research oriented?
You can be research oriented, yeah, definitely. Let me just see if I can find this in the in one of our documents. I'll share my screen in just a moment.
Thank you.
Once I find this. So. Okay, so let me share my screen again. Right, so you can see that these are the three streams as they now will exist next year, and these are the common core courses. So everybody, as I said, does a course in research methodology. Then everyone also does the first course in translation technology. And actually, in spite of that name, there will be some content on interpreting technology as well in that course. So after that, here we have the required courses for the different streams. And you see here are the practical ones happen to be listed first.
Yes.
And I think we would expect the other more research, more theoretical focused ones to come up in that column.
Okay, I see.
And so as we go down, that's a very practical course, and we've been very lucky this year to have 2 international experts in translation teaching those. We've had Professor Eugene Youyang from Bloomington. He's in Bloomington, isn't he? In the US.
Yes, correct.
Yeah.
Yes. United States. Yeah.
In the United States, and he's been. I mean, in the past he's visited, but he's done it by Zoom this year. And we've had Nikki Harmon from the UK. She's doing it at the moment, and she's a very well-known, widely published literary translator from Chinese into English. So, but I'm aware I still haven't answered your question. I'll get onto your question.
It's okay.
As we go down. So here we are. Here we see some of the electives. So we have this course in Western translation theory, Chinese discourse on translation, essential readings in translation studies. I think probably those are the main 3 others that would be of interest to you.
Yeah.
And although, you know, as we've said, we're not always able to offer every elective course every year, but you can be fairly sure that some of these will be available in any year. And just to
maybe
also,
sorry, Mark.
Yeah,
Mark,
sure. So Paul, go on, please.
Yeah, maybe I can add something.
Yeah.
For example, in this academic year, we have 2 elective courses offered to the students. They are essential readings in translation studies and Chinese discourse on translation. So you may notice that there are some theoretically based course that we will offer to the students every academic year. Yeah.
Yeah, that's it. Definitely. Thanks very much. And okay, so you get those are the 2 courses, the 2 common core, and then in each case there are 4 more required courses for each of the streams. Okay, but just to get back to where we were. And then, of course, yes, I mean, there is the dissertation or translation project. We don't make that obligatory on Matran, but it's a fairly popular course. more popular is the translation project part, but some people do a dissertation. You could definitely do a theoretical dissertation if you wanted to. And then there are these other ones as well. I mean, gender issues, that might not be offered every year. But we have, this is much more likely to be offered from next year with the translation technology stream. Corpus-based approaches to translation, that's using a certain research approach.
I see.
So once again, theoretical. And then you can see this is, as you know, this is the practical column. So there is this introduction to interpreting. So it means if for whatever reason someone's not able to participate in the interpreting stream, but they wanted to, you can do that course in semester 1, and then probably in semester 2, a second and possibly even a third course in technology in semester 2. Did I say, sorry, in interpreting, I'm so sorry, in interpreting in semester 2. Okay, and there are the, and you can see most of the technology courses are available to people on other streams. Okay.
Yeah, thank you.
Mark,
Thank you very much.
if I may, I want to
sure,
add
please.
some extra information about
thanks very much. Thank you.
doing research, or if you want to apply for maybe an MPhil or PhD degree. Actually, just recently I found out there are more activities for postgraduates. For example, I can share my screen right now. And yes, I just got this message 2 days ago, and this is a conference especially set for postgraduates. So you are definitely entitled to submit an abstract and present in this conference. It's in September this year, and there are a lot more similar activities for our postgraduates. So we also encourage our postgraduates or students to attend this kind of conference. I think it will be helpful for your further application. Yeah.
Thanks very much, Max. Can you share the link for that, please?
Thanks. Thank you.
Thanks for that. Is that okay? We answered your question now.
Yes, thank you very much.
Okay, right. Super.
Hi, Professor Shuttleworth.
Hi.
If I may, can I ask a question about the arrangement next semester? Is it going to be online or is it going to be in person in Hong Kong?
Ah, right. I wish I had a crystal ball. It's difficult to say. I mean, we're hoping that we'll get back to some kind of new normal. It's all taken a bit longer than we'd hoped. Now, our use of Zoom is quite mature now. We've been using it a lot this last year. What we're doing at the moment is mixed mode. So all the courses are taught on Zoom, but also there is the possibility of attending in person.
Yes.
And I mean, for my localization course, which has 30 participants, we have anything up to about 10 people attending in person. And in that group, in the group as a whole, most of our students are from the mainland. So that group of 10 people will include, you know, a couple of Hong Kongers, local students, and then a number of people from the mainland who have, over the course of the year, been able to travel to Hong Kong. Traveling from the mainland to Hong Kong now is relatively easy. You do have to quarantine. But my understanding is that it's a home quarantine and it's only 14 days. And that has got easier as the year has progressed. And Hong Kong is now starting to roll out the vaccine. And it's now possible for people to sign up for the vaccine. I understand the situation is similar in the mainland. I think possibly you are a bit ahead of Hong Kong in that. So maybe I'm being optimistic, but I think it will be a more normal learning experience next year than it is this year, than it has been this year. But I don't think the use of Zoom will disappear completely. And that will be partly because of pandemic issues, but also because our university, probably like every single university everywhere else, has understood that the use of Zoom or similar technologies actually allows us to do things that we couldn't do otherwise, like teach international audiences and collaborate in real time internationally. So I don't think Zoom is going to vanish, and we're not going to go back to what it was before. But I'm sure that the face-to-face component of the MA, it will slowly consolidate as more and more people feel able to travel to Hong Kong. That said, you know, we just don't know what's around the corner. We don't know what's going to happen next year or even in a couple of months' time. But if, you know, as long as nothing else terrible happens, that is what I think will be the shape of next year.
And also, what is the political climate like in Hong Kong right now, given what's been happening? Is it going to be a very welcoming environment for students from the mainland, for example?
Well, I don't see why not. I think, I mean, we did have some unrest, as you've heard. That was in the summer of 2019. And for the rest of 2019, since the pandemic, there have been fewer demonstrations. I think the political environment today is that there are likely to be fewer such manifestations. And I'm not aware of our mainland students, and most of our students are from the mainland. I'm not aware of them having encountered any kind of difficulty like that. You know, there was some serious unrest a couple of years ago. I don't see that happening again. Is that okay? Have I answered your question?
Thank you. Yeah, thank you very much.
Yeah, sure. So we have a couple of, I've just noticed we have a question from the chat. Yes. Is there an internship opportunity? Yeah. Right, okay. So we currently don't have a formal program of internships. Our main developmental focus has been on getting the technology stream up and running. But that will be something we'll be thinking about over the next months and next couple of years, maybe. When you get accepted, if you apply and do get accepted, you will have a letter and I think also a stamp in your visa or a sticker in your visa, which entitles you to take on certain types of local employment, and that would include internships or work experience, anything like that. So there is nothing to stop you undertaking these kinds of opportunities, but we have nothing within the program at the moment, although that might change. So if you want to follow that up, do ask me another question about that. But I can see a couple of questions coming on about the technology stream, which was not available when these two questioners were applying. And so can you move across? Can you move your application to the technology stream? And
Yes.
I think the answer should be yes.
Yes,
And Paul,
of
thank
course,
you. Thanks for confirming, Paul. We'd just have to work out, I think probably just writing a letter, would that be all that would be necessary, or how would that work, Paul, exactly?
Yeah, I think it's very straightforward that because we will invite you to have the Skype or Zoom interview afterwards when we receive your applications. And then in the email, I will ask whether you would like to apply for which stream, for example, interpreting, practical, or technology stream. And then you can just mark it technology stream if do. And when you have passed the interview and when you have met our application requirements, I mean the language proficiency, the certificates, something like that, and we will send the recommendation form to the graduate school, and the form will be, you will be recommended to be the technology stream students.
Okay, thank you. So very straightforward. In other words, that's great. Thanks very much.
Yeah, very straightforward indeed. Yeah.
And I mean, unlike with the interpreting stream, we have a quota of students for the interpreting stream because we like to keep the groups quite small, but there are no actual quotas for the practical or the technology streams. I can see there's a new message. Okay, all right. Super. So we still have time.
Sorry, it's me again.
Go ahead.
Professor.
Nice to hear from you.
As you mentioned about some questioners mentioned about internship, I wonder, will we have classes on weekends?
Yes,
maybe a small number.
Maybe a small number.
Please answer. Yeah.
It is possible, but for the weekend classes, normally we will assign it in the week and morning session. We have two each semester, semester 1 and semester 2. They are being assigned in Saturday morning, but all of the courses will be electives. For the core course, mainly we will be assigned in weekdays. Weekdays, I mean maybe evenings or maybe daytimes. Yeah, for the evening classes, we will cater the part-time students' need. Yeah, so most of the evening classes will be a core course. Yeah.
Got it. So
Yeah,
you mean that we might taking classes with the part-time students together?
Yes, correct.
Together, yeah. But
Got
when
it.
you say
Thank
weekend, if you did have any weekend classes, they would only be on Saturday morning.
Yeah, at this moment, yes, normally, yes, yeah.
But I think probably most of our students don't have any Saturday classes. It just depends on the particular electives you choose.
Yes, correct, indeed.
And,
yeah.
and sometimes also we have to teach in the evening during the week. But I think most of our courses are during the daytime, up to 6:30. They can, in theory, start at 8:30 in the morning and go on till 6:30 in the evening. And if you have an evening class, that might last until 9:20, 9:30 in the evening. But once again, there aren't, am I correct in saying, Paul, there aren't very many in that category?
Yes, correct.
Yeah, okay,
yeah.
Thanks.
Thanks, Simon.
Okay.
Got it. Thank you.
Excellent. Okay. So,
I have a direct message about IELTS or TOEFL. So
okay.
I will read it out.
Thanks.
I may have missed some information. I'd like to confirm the admission requirements. Is IELTS 6.5 mandatory, or does Baptist have language classes? And is it acceptable about the TOEFL home edition test?
Yeah, good. For the TOEFL home edition, I think it is acceptable, but the actual requirement, because for last admission cohort, it is acceptable. For current admission cohort, I remember that the graduate school has made an announcement that they still accept the TOEFL home, I think the home school, but the actual requirement, maybe you need to contact a graduate school and confirm with the colleagues. And for the IELTS, is it mandatory? I think it's yes, yeah, because that our program will require the applicants to meet the language proficiency, the English language proficiency, I mean. So you may need to attend one of those test scores. For example, the IELTS, TOEFL, CT6 in mainland China, and maybe DSE or A-level in Hong Kong. Yeah. But there are some exceptional cases that if you have got IELTS 6 and you have outstanding interview performance, we can recommend you to get admitted, but you will need to attend our English enhancement courses that will be held by the university. And the course fee you may need to pay by yourself. Yeah. And this is exceptional. I think, yeah, this is exceptional cases. Yeah.
Okay, that's great. Thank you.
A question about technology stream.
Yes. Okay. So, are there any specific requirements for technology stream applicants? For example, some basic translation software know-how or coding know-how? No. Does that answer your question? No, there aren't. You know, we do find that on our translation technology course, which is currently an elective but will become core course, there is a wide range of backgrounds, and some people have almost a professional expertise in technology, and then others are I won't say beginners, because obviously everybody can use word processing and can consult the web and everything like that. But there are people who haven't got significant background or experience in specialized use of applications. So we find that, you know, in a group of 30 or 20 or 30 people, maybe 2 have used translation memory before, and remember, that's the main technology we focus on. So we assume actually that you don't have a background. So don't worry if you feel you don't have that specialist background yet. We will bring you along, and you'll experience quite a steep learning curve, I think. And by the end, you'll have a good knowledge, a broad knowledge of translation technology. So we do have SDL Trados. It's not a web application. So at the moment, it's only available in our specialized facility on campus, and that's because that's the way, because of the way that the company delivers it. We've been using online technology systems, certainly more this year than we do normally. But we're going to be looking into ways of making the software like Trados that's installed locally available outside the facility, off campus. And hopefully that will be possible, but we're going to see if that can be possible for next year. And currently the main translation memory system that we cover is one called MemSource. And this is very much gaining in popularity. And it's a fairly easy, user-friendly one to use. Certainly is your first tool. And we find our students like learning MemSource. It's a good system to use to learn translation memory, about translation memory on. And then we will cover others as well, but in less detail. But you know, hopefully next year we'll be back to starting with MemSource and then maybe moving on to SDL Trados Studio. How many students in total? So I mean, we've got in the region of 55 or 60 students currently studying on Matran. And I think we have, is it 18 interpreting students?
Yes, correct. 16 plus 2, 2 has been transferred. So
okay.
18, yeah.
Yeah, okay, sure, thanks. So yeah, we had 16 accepted onto the interpreting stream. If you know, we do at interview stage, we try to fit everybody into the most suitable stream, and it's not always possible to allocate someone to their first choice stream. So if your first choice was interpreting and you find yourself put on another stream, it is possible on arrival to apply to transfer. And we do actually, we test you. So it wouldn't be automatically accepted. But as Paul said, we had 2 people successfully transferring from the practical to the interpreting stream this year. Paul, do you remember how many people applied to transfer?
6.
6, okay, so 2 out of 6 were able to transfer. And then for the others, well, I mean, in effect, this year, we only have 2 streams because, as I said, we have no one on the research stream. So do the maths. We've got 40 people on the practical stream. So we'll have the same number of people next year on the interpreting stream. And well, we don't know the size of the group we'll have. We're hoping for a similar size group. And we don't know at this stage how that's going to split between practical and technology.